Hello captains, this is Kent again and welcome to the flight show. So I'm kind of excited here because this is going to be my first full flight since upgrading to Prepar3D. I'll be flying an actual route by an actual airline. This will be Cathay Pacific's route between Hong Kong, and I'm using Taxi to Gate's newest version of Hong Kong airport, and we'll be flying down to Imaginesim's Singapore airport. So this is going to be pretty cool. I tend to deal with European and American airlines, but I'm feeling some of these airports that are getting updated for Prepar3D, so we're going to do this. And before I jump into things, I've been remiss in not giving a shout out to Flight Sim 69, who, if you remember in some of my early videos when I upgraded to Prepar3D, I was getting a whole lot of stutters, and quite a few people had offered suggestions on what I should do to fix it. And I used a variation. Some of them I didn't get to simply because I found something that worked. So I really appreciate everybody that wrote in and on the channel to offer some suggestions. But it did come down to sync rates, and so Flight Sim 69 did finally enlighten me as to how this kind of works. Though the frame rate selector that he'd selected still gave me some stutters, so mine is set to unlimited. For whatever reason, my computer always has responded to that, but it's running with VSync, and now I'll talk about it a little later, but all this is to say it got things where I can feel confident and respectable posting content with some smooth frame rates. So with that being said, let's just get into the cockpit and get started. Now, since this isn't really a tutorial on the PMDG 747, I'm not going to take you through all the setup because I'm thinking you're really wanting to see how does this all look working in Prepar3D. So there's some stuff I'll just, edit out. But we'll get started because the first thing we need to do is say that we want to board. And I won't select a jetway because I already have a jetway put over here. So the pilots are going to come on board, and the boarding process will start, and we'll just get to work. So the first thing we need to do is turn on the battery, and since we're flying a commercial aircraft, we will turn on our ground power units as such. So if we go through our list, we have the battery on, standard power, we'll have to auto, hydraulic pumps, they are set to off, and the windshield wipers are off, alternate flap selector is off, landing gear is down, and establish electrical power, which we've already done, and turn on the nav lights. Let them know that we are in the cockpit. Alright, so the initial safety checks, power isolation switches, normal. Let's see, ELT, emergency lights should be put on armed. Haven't done that. There we go. Battery is on, and standby power. Demand pumps are off. Fuel, yes, main, yeah. Alternate flaps off. Landing gear lever is down. We saw that. Flap lever, they agree because the flaps are up. The flaps are actually up, and we have our power that has been established. Okay, so I will bring you back after we get everything for our navs and stuff taken care of, and we'll be, ready for pushback. Okay, so we have all of our nav set up, so what we're going to do is turn on our APU. And get ready with our fuel pumps on. These should set. So, just checking hydraulic pumps 4 and 1. Four and 1 auxiliary, 2 and 3 auto. Okay. And the start connection packs are off. Fuel pumps is set. The packs 2 and 3 are off, and beacon status selected. So we are good, and we can switch to APU. And be it that we can switch to the APU. Whoops. We can go ahead and release ground connection and remove the chocks. Now our door should be closed, but I am seeing a glitch with Prepar3D. They are opening and closing randomly, which I don't have an explanation for. So we're just going to say close all. Alright. Now, assuming all of that is right, we should be ready for pushback. Okay, so we're going to see if we can do this with ultimate ground crew, and therefore pushback sequence, computer defined route. Let's see how this goes. We should have had a better tow truck, but you know what? We're just going to roll with it.
Go ahead, fly deck.
Can we pressurize the hydraulics? Can we pressurize the hydraulics? Are we cleared to pressurize the hydraulics?
Ground to flight deck.
Go ahead.
Communication check please and confirm the brakes are set.
Communications are okay and the brakes are set.
Thanks.
Okay. I realize that we are in Hong Kong and the ground crew is white. Or at least that dude is. But hey,
okay.
We're contracted by Cathay Pacific to fly. He can be contracted to work out in Hong Kong. No problem.
Go ahead, cockpit.
We are ready for pushback
Go
and
ahead,
engine.
fly deck.
We are ready for a pushback and engine start facing south.
Roger. Facing southeast. Release brake.
Brakes released.
Okay, commencing pushback.
Yeah, he is getting into it early on that turn. I ain't mad at him. We got our wing walkers out there? Indeed we do. You know what I'm going to say, right? It don't matter.
Clear 2.
He can get contracted too. Is that to say I can start? I'll give it a second. Usually he says you're free to start engines, so I'm just going to see if he says it.
Go ahead, cockpit.
Nothing. Alright, we ain't waiting for him. So far, we're looking good.
Pushback complete. Set parking brake, please.
Brakes are set.
Roger.
I guess he was like, whatever, I'm stopping right here.
Okay, the tow bar disconnected and the equipment's clear.
Thanks. You are free to disconnect and go to hand signals.
Roger, have a nice flight.
Thank you. Yeah, he's backing out. All right, so packs to normal. Hydraulic pumps, that goes to auto. I have to start checklist APU. Off. Demand pumps are all auto. Anti-ice is off. After cargo heat normal. Packs normal. Recall is checked. Ground equipment is clear, and ACMs is QAR on.
Thanks, have a safe flight.
All right. Clear on the left. Clear right. Let's do this. Okay, while I'm at it, let me export this off screen. Sorry about that. I will be using that screen off screen because the font's a little bigger. I can follow the flight director a whole lot better. Alright, I'll bring you in when it's time for us. Okay, I had to get ground to give instructions to fly out of the pattern because there was a bunch of planes showing up, and I would have just been sitting there. But they got me in the rotation, so I'm not tripping. So we're going to use this time to do our before takeoff checklists. So first we have to make sure our weather radar is on. Traffic is on. Okay. Strobes on. Alright, landing lights. Packs are on. Lights and strobes, radar on is set. So we should be next for departure. Three. Alright, gave us a command to line up and wait. That worked out well. See all those planes? Yeah, they were trying to cut. So you could see them better over here. Alright, we're clear for takeoff. Alright, clear for takeoff.
Airspeed alive.
See how beautifully smooth that is? Rotate. Gear up. That Flaps 5. Flaps up. Check out those atmospheric effects. Alright, gonna turn. Alright, landing gear in the off position. After takeoff checklist, landing gear up, flaps up, anti-ice is off. Autopilot is on. Forgive me that I was so quiet, because really I was just in awe and looking at everything. Just like, wow. Okay, we are on our way to Singapore. Our flight restriction, our altitude restriction will change now, so we will be gaining altitude. Excellent. Excellent. All right, I will bring you back well after we're at top of climb. So here we are, and we are cruising at, we're not even cruising, we're still climbing. We're climbing up to 38,000 feet. We're at flight level 227. And thought I'd give you a chance to take a look at the atmospheric effects provided by real-world weather, or a pilot's real-world weather. The haze, you know, I actually, you know, I like it. I think I needed to compare it to something, because this is a very specific atmospheric condition. In fact, let me tell you what the conditions are at this particular moment. I gotta bring my weather thing out, and sorry that the sound's away while I bring it up, but so let's see, we're at flight level 246. So if we look here, the closest we got to 246 right here, so it's 41 knots, 16 degrees Celsius, and as I'm looking at my electronic flight bag over here to my right in my other screen, that's exactly what it's reporting, which is really cool. Temperature negative 16 degrees centigrade. And so you get these different wind conditions at various flight levels, so you can track that. What does it say? Sky cover. Few clouds at 1,500 feet. Broken at 30,000. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. No precipitation going on at this moment. And so that was what the weather effects are for the Hong Kong weather station. So, I can dig that. So looking out of our window, this is what we would see. I am happy. All right, so I will see you when we're up there at cruising altitude. Just have to maintain our systems for now. See you in a little bit. Okay, we are descending on our airport, but for whatever reason, my particular star is not in the PMDG, so I'm basically doing it manually. So just putting in some things here. We're in our descent, but we're on time, so that's no problem. So let's see, this should be in nylon, N-Y-L-O-N. Put that in there. I'm going to assume it's the closest. It looks about right. And then after nylon, we'll have P-O-S-U-B. P-O-S-U-B. That there. Okay. And after that, Sanat. S-A-N-A-T. And if those all go in, which they do, then we can take care of this discontinuity, because after that is Lenin, and everything works out fine. Okay, so light on fuel. I think we can leave these two on. All right. I think I have everything I need. Although, if we go to legs, we still have to turbulence. So we want to close this up. Okay, now what I'm noticing is we have an intermediate ray point between the first part of our final and our outer marker, which would be LASIN. I just want to see if it's there. Oh, it is there. I didn't see it at first. But okay, now our VREF is going to be 134. And we'll put that in right here. Not letting me? Oh, I don't blame you. It's like, what are you doing? There we go. Okay, excellent. In fact, I want this, drop that down. I want this speed to be 180. Now y'all do what you gotta do to make that happen. In fact, I don't even, well, they may not give me that because that's a specific, but okay, so that, then we're gonna drop it down to 180. I'm fine with that. Now, it seems that we're being told, oh, I didn't even notice that, so what we will do is, so that we do not have to worry about this turn, because it's trying to go all the way around. I'll tell you what we'll do. We will let you replace that. So let's just see. Waypoint do we have going on here? Who is Duo? Well, it's a little weird, but I have no idea. I'm just going to be honest with you. Oh, R. That's what we... Okay. Now I know what to do. I need to replace R with... I think I get it now. With BiPAP, if we've got it. So... Oops. BiPAP. And you replace R. No, BiPAP isn't there. Let's see. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Silly me. PiPAP. P-I-P. P-I-B. I'm dyslexic. Oh my gosh. B-I-B-A-P. And replace R with that. Execute. And then get rid of invalid entry? Why? Close that up. I know I can't really do this, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. Alright, fine. Bring you up. Close. And I wish clear. Ah, it worked. Excellent. And then there we go. All because my star is not in there. Now, if this was a flight and that actually happened, ATC would give us vectors. No big deal. But we sorted it out. Now, here's our weather condition. Let's see how real weather categorizes it. So we're at flight level 254. So here we are. This is between 254, between these two. And what do we have? We have winds at 13 knots. Yeah, my electronic flight bag over here to my right says 12 knots, so that's close. Because we're not at that exact altitude anyway. And the winds are at 93. I'm getting something a little different, but that's fine. Sky, few, at 1,387. Nothing for precipitation rather. Visibility is 19 kilometers. Fair enough. So, okay, we can dig that. Now we're looking on fuel. Hairy. Close. Now, I'm not getting any and not enough fuel readings, so it's going to be close. But we are close. So let's see how well we can pull this off. Alright. Though I was busy handling those navs, let's take a look at our, let's see, descent checklist recall. Let's say checked. Safety altitude checked. Minima 200 feet checked. VREF set. Auto brake 2. Passenger signs are on. Map integrity check. Descent checklist complete. Descent approach checklist complete. All right. So our flight restriction is at PIBAP. We should be at or below 2,100 feet. I think we're going to make that. Yeah, we are. A little bit of turbulence going on here. Yeah, we'll make our restriction. That's fine. Check out this view. Absolutely stunning. Okay, I will bring you back when we're closer to our final. So I thought I would let you see me roll up on our final waypoints because these atmospheric conditions are, in my humble opinion, very nice. So I'm noticing a lot of chatter on the page and in some other places is, I think I'll wait for, FS 2020. Which is totally cool, totally understandable. I will say myself that I have no regrets in purchasing this because, one, I was not getting these frame rates before. So I think it's worth just the fact that I've enjoyed myself. Once I got everything working, I've really enjoyed the frame rates. Now, I will admit a lot of time has been spent getting stuff reinstalled and what have you. And then today, actually, you're looking at P3D version 5 with the hotfix. Because this is the part that totally terrified me when they said, we recommend that you completely uninstall Prepar3D and reinstall it. And I was like, oh my gosh, do I have to spend all day reinstalling stuff? But, I guess I was like, well, get it done now and you won't have to worry about bugs later. But the cool thing is, even when you uninstall it, the scenery files and all of that stayed in there. So it was just a matter of me getting it to reinitialize many of the, scenery connections. Things that were in your Prepar3D add-on folder, those just reactivated when you turned it on and they asked, do you want to start it up? But the ones that were in the prepared folder, not all of them kicked in. Like my global mesh, I noticed wasn't in the library. So I got to figure out, short of having to just reinstall global, how do I get it to see those folders like it used to? I guess I could go to the library and just have it do it automatically, but then what places it appropriately? You know what I'm saying? So I'll have to take a look at that. Maybe there's some notes. Maybe there's some notes on it. Hopefully there are. So this is looking very nice. As you can see, visibility is not incredible right now. Now, we've come down to 2,500 feet, and we will be at 2,500 feet until it's time for our final. So I'm a little surprised we're this low this fast, but especially seeing we should be higher at this particular moment. So I'm going to tell us to go up and then come back down. And I think I know why. Because since it wasn't a SID, and I just put these in manually, I needed to put the proper altitude, which I had not. So, my mistake. But I'm going to have them handle that. In fact, let me check and see what the next altitude should be. Well, you'd be coming down from this anyway, so I'm going to just have to ballpark it. Mistake on my part. I don't know why those waypoint, why that star, like literally none of the stars that are listed in my electronic Avlosoft flight bag are in PMDG, and the ones that were in PMDG were not in Avlosoft. I have like downloaded the navs from Navigraph, so I'm totally not entirely sure what's going on. But okay, so there is Singapore International right over there. So we will be coming in soon. Excited about that. Now, once we get up, we may not make it all the way up to 6,000 feet, but once we pass this waypoint, I'm going to put it back at 2,500, and it can pace, you know, as to what altitude that should be. Okay, so we now turned. So now I can tell this 2,500. And what I will do is tell it VNAV. And speaking of that, so there it is at 240. So I'm just going to make this a cool 4,000. I could do that, right? They're like, no. Drag required. Drag given. Let's get rid of that. Woo! What is that, a lagoon down there? I don't know. Check out the ships. Very nice. Now, if I'm looking at the scenery that's over here, it would suggest that this is like part of an expansion, because it looks like there's some construction that cleared away a lot of the vegetation, and a runway will be there, but is not at this particular moment. I don't know. Alright. There is going to be a buttload of ships that we're going to pass over as we're heading on our final. Should be exciting. Okay, so that immediate shift was the weather, because remember the weather is updated every 5 minutes. So that was a weather dump. Kind of curious why it was so dramatic, but that's what it is. Okay. Alright, here we are turning on to final. And at this moment, we will have speed intervene, and we will bring our speed down to 180. Alright, listen for the flap call. Flaps 1. Speed check flaps 1. Gear down. Flaps 5. Glide slope is active. None of that. It's alive. Localizer is active, and now it is alive. Arm localizer. And we will arm approach. Flaps 10. And we will bring our speed down to VREF. Flaps 20. Flaps 30. Oh, sorry, flaps 25. Flaps 30. All right. We are ready for landing checklist. Landing checklist. Speed brake armed. Landing gear down. Cabin ready. Missed approach altitude is set. And flaps 30 green. Alright, I thought you'd get a much better view of these ships, but there's a little bit of a haze, so I'm just going to have to roll with that. Did I get the wrong runway? No, because you know what? The aircraft that's coming as though they took off on runway 20, but we literally have a headwind. That's only 2 knots. Now, 2 knots, I guess you can take off whichever direction you'd like, but true to the weather report, I scheduled this properly. So let's just hope nobody's coming. All right. My aircraft. I'm going to have to assign that button again.
Traffic.
Approach stable. Tad high. Ignore that oncoming aircraft. Oh my gosh. Frame rates smooth. Smooth frame rates on approach. Like no frame rate drop on approach. Okay, that alone, in my humble opinion, is worth the money I paid for Prepared 5. Because this is beautiful.
50, 30, 20, 10,
Spoilers armed. Reverse is normal. Reverse is off. Manual braking. Exiting runway. Fabulous! Ah, and bugs on the window, of course. Alright. Let's get a hold of ground. As soon as we cross threshold here. Taxi to gate. Clean up the aircraft. Delta 36. Okay, I'm just using my electronic fight bag to give me that path over here on the side. Delta 36. Okay. Going the right way. Get our sound back here. I'm going to Delta 36. Let's see. Can marshal it parking? And I'm using my what do you call? Where is Delta 30? Okay, Delta 36 is... Okay, I see where Delta 36 is, so I want to tell it there. Yes. Okay, so we will be using Ultimate Ground Crew for our marshalling instead of GSX, just because I want to see how it looks. Alright. Over here. That's an ATR. Okay. Oh yeah. Turn on the APU. Let's see out back.
Go ahead, fly deck.
Is the door opened? Not yet. Oh, there it is. Hush. almost home. APU door is open, so it's coming on. Okay, we're going to hang a left here. Keep an eye out for the marshaller. Oh, there's the marshaller. Right about there. Alright, we're going to turn in.
Go ahead, fly
Although
deck.
it seems that the marshaller's a little off center, but I don't mind.
Go ahead, fly deck.
I can't really see you in a minute. Need you back up. But I got a way to handle that.
Go ahead, fly deck.
737. I'm going to have to get a little bit closer. A little premature, but I'll take it. Brakes on. Alright. Why is my APU on? So what we will do is
Go ahead,
to
fly
keep
deck.
avoiding, well, we're going to have to do two things.
Go ahead, fly deck.
We're going to cut off engines. And then quickly request ground power. That way we won't need it. Gates are coming up automatically. Like, I didn't even tell them to do anything. Sweet. Request. Ooh, I requested the wrong thing. I don't want boarding. I want deboarding. Activate ground services. Reset position. And then request. I'll be back in a second. At least I hope. Totally jacked that up. Come on back. There we go. Request deboarding. Alright, so now we'll get the doors. Menu. FS action. Doors. And next, open forward cargo, aft cargo. And now everybody's leaving. Okay, handle their business. Although I didn't open the doors. Okay, I see the flicker. Gotta work on that. But hey, we've gotten our full flight here to Singapore. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know where you want me to go next. Now, I just want to say very quickly, I know I have some requests for some things I got to work on. They wanted a tutorial for chase plane, how to do navs. Got to work on that this weekend. Got some work to do, so I'm going to try to fit it in there. Work for my actual job and stuff. But I'm going to try to get it all in there. So again, I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Give me a few likes. Actually, a few thousand if you can. And subscribe. And I really appreciate you tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in the virtual skies.